Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. As promised, I thought before the holidays I will get a spending guide ready for everyone. And again, if you're completely free to play, you can completely ignore this. But if you do decide to spend just a little, um, and you want to boost your strength with, in real life income, um, it's completely up to you, right? I think this game is as free to play friendly as it can get. You can pretty much get to any content you want with the appropriate amount of saving. I think by getting some of the things that we're going to be going through today simply makes the game experience a little bit easier, allow you to rank higher, allow you to be able to basically have more content. If we think about spending in general, um, you know, this versus console games, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail about that, is spend edge within your own. Make sure you have um, the discretionary uh, spending that's within your budget, within your level of income, right? Don't Please don't have any gotcha addictions. If you do have gotcha addictions, please get help. With that kind of disclaimer out of the way, let's get right into the video here. Um, so, um, I think often what players do in gotcha games, often what they look at is, oh, the percentage saving here. You look at all the special deals and you look at these percentages like, oh, something that's 330% off between two packs are kind of equal. I would advise against looking at just that because there are certain things in the game that's probably more beneficial to your account and perhaps more beneficial depending on what stage you're at. And at the end of the day, I'll kind of hopefully give you kind of a general rule of thumb and spending guide in terms of if you do plan to drop some money into the game, where potentially to drop for the biggest bang for the buck. Um, Again, full disclosure, as a content creator, we do get vouchers for doing content for the game. For me, I use those vouchers to be able to now have more of a um, kind of a spending experience as well, which allows me to give you guys some advice on what's probably the most value for your spending. Now, I'm only going to go up to $500 a month because that's kind of the limit that I have to work with. Um, but that kind of gave me a good sense, probably for majority of the spenders out there, this this guide will be very applicable and useful for you. Now, if you spend more than that, well, talk to your whale friends, or probably if you can drop that much money every month on a mobile gacha game, you probably, you know, either make a lot of money or you probably want to think about wisely where you spend your money. No offense to anybody there. Um, you can do whatever the heck you want. Just buy whatever you think you need and enjoy the game. But for those of us who probably maybe work with a spending budget, I think this is how I'm gonna be tiering the spending levels you're kind of at and what's probably best value for you, and we will work from top down. So with the lowest spending budget that you have, I think if you're gonna spend this game, the monthly pass is probably the best deal for a wide range of reasons. Now, we should probably ignore all of these, but what's key here is one, this means for $15, you're going to be getting a Lego Eye. For most places where if you want to get a Phantom Dragon Eye, either way for the free event or you kind of spend around $40, I think, and we're going to be just using USD or number of vouchers. We're going to talk about number of vouchers. So a $40 equivalent, 40 vouchers equivalent, or 40 USD to get it from the Hero Quest event. In the shop, this thing is worth, I think, $99. Never use those to value things. I think that's maybe how these percentages are calculated. Let's talk about what really this means for you. What does it feel like to play with a monthly pass? Well, when you play with a monthly pass is you get to actually skip all of the ads. You don't have to watch the ads. So that's already a quality of life. That's actually saving you quite a bit of time. loading 30 seconds ads for like a total of 7 quests every day is sometimes it's annoying to deal with. Um, you get one extra boss ticket, which I want one key 5 and 6 with a fourth one. Basically, you're getting a free 100 gems out of that ticket. That's what it's worth. You're getting the additional key cap doesn't really matter. This is very minimum. This is the key one, is where you're getting boss stamina. The multi-battle allow you to really cycle well to fully top up your multi-battle attempts in between uh, every dungeon event, so you don't have to worry about buying multi-battle attempts. Your daily log on, you're getting 300 extra energy. So in between the 4 days, you get 1,200 energy, which means you usually should have no problem starting every boss dungeon event with around 5,000 to 6,000 energy, assuming you just finished the last one. So today we're on the last day of Nagia, I think. No, we have one more day of it. But say I use up all my energy right now by the end of day tomorrow. By the time grilling comes around, 4 days later, I should be around saved around 6,000 energy, no problem, which will allow me to spend zero energy and place probably around in the top 200, which is a very good place for the amount of effort and the amount of mythic shards you're going to get. Okay, it's a very good place to aim for the 200 or 150 mark. From a gem spending perspective, you haven't seen my video on how I save a lot of gems. Um, you get you basically just spend the gem on stamina on the voyage events. Rarely do I actually buy multi-battle. I never buy this for events, not worth it. On the occasions just to meet the 150 or 200 threshold, sometimes I buy a couple of arena tickets here and there, but that's it. Most of your gems are going to be used um, when you have the Double Dragon Cliff event, and that's why you save your Battle Pass energy and you claim it right before when you need that event. And speaking of that event, I believe it's just right around the corner. Okay, well, maybe I think it's maybe the third or fourth week. So after double faction abyss drop, we will have the we'll have probably the double dragon cliff egg drop. So that's what you want to mostly use your energy for. So that is the monthly pact. Now, if you're willing to drop a little bit more for that, I would suggest when you see the special pack, not this one, what you want to do is grab it when it's miracle runes here, because this is probably the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting miracle runes. The reason why you save all these gems is primarily use it for miracle runes, because that is actually the most reliable way and to get a guaranteed hero, because the pity system is brutal. It's really hard to sometimes get the hero you want, and usually limited banners. If you want a new limited hero, it's usually easier to try to get it through Miracle Runes than to try to wish it on a normal banner on its rerun. So, so saving up Miracle Runes is probably worth it. So I would recommend you get these. Now, there's another situation where in the special packs, we do have these $1 packs. Um, don't buy it all the time, but for example, say right now, um, and say I'm out of keys, it is definitely worth it to spend $1 to get 10 additional excellent runes, and maybe from a ranking perspective, jump from say 200 someplace, right? 200 something to maybe top 150 or 200. So you just need to see how many points you need, because really, if you think about it, most players are going to be spending all 64,000 gems. But if you did well on the event, and this time I bought my keys and forgot to use it, but normally I was placed maybe in the near top 100, being able to go from 105th place to under 100 on the ranking, plus the additional reward, often that $1 is worth it. So this is where you might sometimes want to spend that $1 there. But other than that, sometimes there will be the $1 for Miracle Runes. I will also recommend you getting that if you're kind of within this budget range. But otherwise, if this is kind of the level of spending you're at, this is what you go for. There was one unique circumstance, I think, during Black Friday. There was like a $9 pack which had a hero chest. I believe it was, I still have that hero chest. So, sorry, so in my bag, there was this, I think it was this chest. We get to get an Echo selection. We get to select the Echo, and I think we also got like a equipment set or something. It was like a 3,000 or 2,000. Yeah, I think it was like a 3,000% discount off. Deals like that, yeah, I think it's probably worth getting if you're in this spending range. Very rare occasion, maybe during Christmas they'll have something like that. Maybe during Chinese New Year, who knows? Black Friday we saw a really good pack for $10 to get a set of, I think we got that Echo choice, and we also got a full set of legendary penetration gear. Gear is actually sometimes really hard to farm, and it came with pre-substat stats. So having a full set of legendary gear is definitely worth it for $10 on that. So this is what I would say about this level of spending. Often people then let's go to the next tier in terms of what's worth getting is talking about the championship pass. Often people forget about this one. Um, Championship pass, I guess in the regular contest phase, okay, there will be the pass for it. You get 30 miracle runes for $10 plus a bunch of other goodies. That is actually a relatively good deal compared to when you see miracle runes come on flash packs. You will see that tomorrow when we get into the summonings for it. But that's what I actually prioritize. uh, so you kind of already get the sense that when I talk about miracle runes and gems, that's probably the highest value. You don't want to use your gems on anything else. Really, it's majority used for miracle runes. Same as when you're spending. Um, Battle order. So a lot of people feel like, hey, the battle order is a really good deal. What do we see in the battle order? We get one more superior dragon scale. We get mythic shards, right? 10 more mythic shards, I think, or 9 more. Um, Overall, if you do get the battle order, that means you can save the bottom path for your event, and you can get a lot of the energy to kind of fill up for the events during the week. So these will be the two top reoccurring paths. You'll get this twice a week. There's two of them because it's like every 2 weeks is a cycle, right? So I would suggest if you're in this kind of spending bracket, um, go for go for these two passes. I think they have the highest return on value. If you're maybe like spending, maybe I want to spend only $30 or I only want to spend, you know, then I will probably, get something like the monthly pack, get this when it comes around, then maybe just get the battle order. I think battle order gives you overall smoother experience. But if you're more into summoning, then I would drop the battle order and go for championship pass. So that's kind of what I would suggest. Under the special pass, when you're spending at around this budget level, you have a little bit more flexibility. So I would suggest when you see this pack come around for 25 excellent runes, you get 25 thousand 2,100 gems plus an eye plus X Supreme Room. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Like this is pretty good deal when you see it. There are sometimes other special packs like the $1 for other stuff. Up to you if you want to grab it. Again, priorities is always Miracle Runes over maybe Excellent Runes over Echoes. That would be kind of my priority. Um, Really, the special packs, this gives you a little bit more flexibility to grab them. This game is, again, gacha games are usually more expensive than others. Um, if you happen to have the discretionary income to go to the next level, this is where you start thinking about what are other things I can probably invest in that's good for my account. And there's just way too many things to buy in this game, so avoid a lot of traps, especially if you're in this range, because $200 a month is actually quite a bit. There's a lot of things you can get, but you want to make sure you're getting the most value out of this. So I would suggest looking at the following things. So first of all, in here there is the growth fund. Don't get this early on. Yes, it's 30 times rebate, but it my account is over 400 days old. I'm still not at level 95. The biggest rewards are near the end. I would suggest maybe buying this much later on, early on. Like, don't buy it early on. It's not worth. I think it was like $35 or something, or 30. Not worth it early on. Buy it much later in the game, even if you're at a high spending tier. This is when you start looking at voyage events. So if we actually did have a voyage event, usually the 9,000 point will be replaced by a new limited hero. This is where what you want to aim for on those events is um, sorry. So now it's a good example. So under the value pack, you want to get the skating newbie pack. You want to get the miracle. There will always be a $15 here to get these two. And what you want to try to do is ideally you're able to do it with a one in the middle 50. So you kind of have to plan your number of steps. The best ones to do are the skating events and also for the magical tiles. The trio event is usually the most expensive out of the three. I usually have to get maybe either the $70 one to be able to complete it. Like I have successfully done skating with just the $30 one. Sorry, what am I looking at? Sorry. It's not, it's sorry. We're looking at the skating packs. I was like, no wonder the dollar amounts were wrong. So the 20, I have managed to done a skating one with $25 and got the limited hero plus the value packs. Usually usually that was really with really good RNG. Without it, you can get the middle ones usually enough. I would suggest you buy one of these. If it's not enough, then buy the second one. Because two of these is the same as this, right? So this is how you get your guaranteed limited hero. Now for trio, usually you probably have to get the $70 one to be enough. But for the um, magical rune one, where with the 8 different tiles, look for solutions online, right? Like there's guides. If you guys want, let me know in the comments below. I will do a skating guide. I will do a tiles guide if you guys want to go through my thinking process. Because I feel like with those two, I'm pretty efficient with it. So if you think about it, you could get $50 plus, so for $66, right, plus the special ones, for $66, you could get a limited hero. That's a pretty good deal. Like even in here, you could consider it. I would say, limited hero for $66 on the event with skills. Okay, so if you got the skills, you feel like it. Sometimes maybe if you're within a budget, maybe, I mean, limited hero comes maybe every 2 months or so. So if you budget yourself, spend a little bit less this month, put it towards next month, maybe you could consider getting a limited hero for $66. When you're in the $200 range, I would say you can go for the limited heroes, but I would avoid trying to get the rerun limited heroes this way. It's cheaper, probably get it through the hero events, chest and wheels, because you get more additional rewards through that than pushing on these. Because if we think about it, when I go from stage, I think probably say 15 to 20, so I get like what on the actual event will be a little bit less. So let's say one more egg and maybe 50 summons there plus, so let's say 100 excellent runes plus the limited hero. Um, I think from a deal perspective, you might prefer the ones. For example, recently we had I think it was like a firework one. That one, pretty sure you can spend around the same amount of money, like around $66 to $70, you will get the limited hero selection chest. So for rerun heroes, I will actually recommend you participating in those events to get it. Just look at the spending because again, um, I don't value gems a lot because you can save up gems a lot. If you look at my video, I'll link the video in the description below about how to save gems. Like if you just get the weekly pass alone, you should be able to comfortably save close to 20,000 gems a week. Um, And if you're completely free to play, 10,000 to 12,000 should be relatively easy as well. Um, um, so we talked about the limited events. Finally, let's talk about, if you really have a lot of money on your hands and you're spending close to 500 a month, which allow me to really explore the value of different other packs here. So depending on what the situation is for that month, if a limited hero is coming along, I usually try to save it. Every month they seem to be a holiday, and there seems to be events. So good deal. Like I think for the 1 year anniversary, I did a review on that. If you check some of my spending guide videos, like just the event alone had things to drop for about um, like easily over $1,000 on just the deal items. So that's a lot. I would recommend you identify the things that you need the most. So when you start selecting, when you're in this spending level, I would just use the following kind of logic. I would say miracle runes are, I think, gear. Okay, gear on discount, especially gear with subs. I think it's kind of equal or kind of same to miracle rune offers. Then from there, I would say this is like your mythic shards, like and when I say mythic shards, I mean these things. Sorry, I want to make sure I get the proper name for these. They're called dragon scales, or mythic dragon scales, or superior dragon scales. I find superior dragon scales. I mean, you do get it in the supplies, you get it in, but getting legendary gear, especially on the mixed subset, like the mixed gears, it's actually harder than you think. It takes quite a bit of farming and luck to get it, to get like decent ones especially. So getting them, superior dragon scales, miracle runes is top. Then maybe I'll think about probably getting your regular supremes, supreme, and I think supremes are overvalued in their calculations, so I'll say supreme excellent runes. You get a lot of excellent runes just by just look at the wishes you're easily racking up. So you will convert those to echo wishes. So it's greater than echoes, I would say. Um, like scrolls, I know people complain about how they don't have scrolls. Look, realistically, yes, maybe early on when you're building a lot of heroes, but eventually you're gonna get to a point where, like skill upgrade. I have 56 scrolls. That's like 4 heroes I haven't touched yet. Another problem that your weekly pass deals with is actually give you 3 of these hero potions. Otherwise, you run out of EXP if you don't have weekly pass. So weekly pass really, for a lot of people wondering, weekly pass does make the game experience a lot better. It balances out your EXP. Like otherwise, you'll be running around with a lot of exclusive fives where they're not even leveled up like this, right? Like I have plenty of resources. I can level up 3 of them right now and get 4 of them to max skills. I just haven't decided to build any of these heroes because I don't have enough gear to gear them decently enough to make it worth it to use them. Again, this is a what, a 400, almost 450 day account, I think. Just check. Where's my achievements? Oh, gradual growth. For almost 450 days on this account, right? So skill scrolls. Skill scrolls, I think they're also overvalued a little bit in their calculation. So don't be blindsided by, hey, look, this pack is, 800% off versus something that's 600% off. It doesn't necessarily mean it's better, right? Pick the resources that you need, is where you want to go for. Now, I'm not going to talk about spending greater than 500. You probably will be wondering, like, hey, there's a holiday pass on every one of these events. Is it worth it to spend like 20 or 20? I think it's $20 or is it $25 to get it? No, those holiday passes are terrible. Don't get them. It's not very good value for what you get out of them. for what they have to offer. Um, I didn't talk about, I think, these kind of value packs. So in value packs, sometimes you get these energy packs. Sometimes you get like during farming, you get like limited time offers sometimes. Like yeah, and they all show up in the value packs here, right? Um, I I I don't like them very much. Again, there's going to be a lot of deals in the value area around the 600 to 700 mark. Unless you're kind of in this spending tier, like the 200 or under like close to the 500 spending tier, I would avoid them. Like if you, especially in here, like none of these are worth it for you. They're not worth it. Just stick with the championship and the battle order is probably where you need to spend the most. You'll get the best things for your account that way. Um, the legendary eye for your account, the $40 one, unless you absolutely need it, and I'll say that kind of spending is still probably not worth it for someone who's in the $200 per month. Again, the game is kind of expensive. I will only recommend you consider maybe the Lego Eye for $40 from the Hero Pass. So like, your Hero Quest from Hero Quest, right? So when you finish it, you'll be offered $40 to get a Lego Eye. That's not even a good deal compared to you'd rather try to get that Lego Eye from maybe a decent pack that comes during the holidays. For example, um, e.g. The Sword Harbor, right? The Sword Harbor ones, the Thanksgiving one, Giving Feast, like that. Like they have tokens you get, and then you exchange, you pay a little bit more for the tokens to get it. Those ones usually means your Lego Eye costs around 25 to $30. It's a little bit more discounted. Like maybe those are worth considering. But again, like if you have 500, you wouldn't have gotten that. So for me, this is kind of my thought process towards spending. Again, for those of you who watch this video that spend more than $500 or more, if you have tips for folks, I mean, I can talk about the obvious things to avoid as well. I mean, um, I know I've spoken with people who actually bought diamonds. Like this literally is the last thing you need to buy. Like unless you're really wealthy off, don't bother buying this. You shouldn't ever run out of diamonds. You're better off, right? You're better off buying energy than to. So for example, in here, right? If you're farming, like it's better to get this energy pack than to buy a whole bunch of gems and use gems to buy energy. Do energy, you have 8,000 in storage. Like you should be able to manage that really well. If you want to, it should help you place in the top, 50 to 100, no problem. You have your battle pass, right? Um, Use your battle pass energy when you really need it. Um, that's how I'll manage it for each event. Don't ever farm off cycle. Don't farm outside of the event cycles. That's how you manage to save your resources. Do your daily quest, skip your ads, and get your extra energy there. Every little bit helps. Um, what else are things to avoid? I mean, the period packs, right? Like I would never buy any of these. The return on these are so low. Like just from the multiplier alone, like this is for the very wealthy. I would avoid all of these packs. Um, like lately we had the trading house. Yes, some of these have really good stats on it. Oh, that actually looks awful. Um, but say 21%. These are very expensive. Speeds, very expensive. Like sometimes you get the flash runes, right? Like I think runestone packs. Like these, sorry, not these, but the legendary ones. Like think about it. You need 10 of those. So 5 of those to get what? To get a 10. So that's $100 for just a set of 10 plus the others. So again, all of these things late game you can farm relatively easily, maybe with the exception of arena dominance. So you need
what, like $500 to max out a legendary aura to just to get 100 speeds more than others. Yes, if you're competing in championship, you're fighting over the top 100 people, or sorry, the top, 10 people or top 64, you're battling it out. Yeah, that's probably when you spend at that level. I mean, if we, look at championship, the people who are in here now, any of these guys probably spent well over 10,000, probably way more, like probably in the order of maybe 30 to 50,000, maybe even, from some of the folks I've talked to. Um, um, that level of spending is, for the very limited few. I think I feel like this guide, hopefully you enjoyed it. For anyone who spends out there among my viewers, this hopefully gives you a good sense. Hopefully, I'm not telling you anything too shocking. If you wish to continue to spend, hopefully this helps you spend more efficiently and get more out of what you spend in the game. Okay, happy holidays. I know people are going on to vacation, and hopefully that also means I will have a little bit more time to do videos for you guys. Catch you next time. Gandalf out.